to record these things. Okay, perfect. So good morning, everyone. So we're going to have a power hour this morning, and you're going to hear some of our rock star coaches who are really, really good at these specific topics. And I thought really good time of year as we are getting ready to start the new year to get ourselves super organized and get dialed in with our systems of, you know, who we're reaching out to, making our list, checking it twice, and then we're going to just take it from there. So I'm going to actually turn it over. We're going to hear from three amazing ladies today. So Tracy Acamini, Jen Spohr, Sunny Kane, and they're going to teach you guys what they're very, very good at. So Tracy, I'm going to have you start this morning. And what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to have her share. She's going to share for probably about 5 minutes, okay? Help you guys get set up, show her organizational systems, and teach how she's going to do that, what works well for her. And then we're going to take about 15 minutes of actual work time where we mute ourselves and we work and work on our list, okay? So, and then we're going to turn it over to Jen. We're going to do the same thing, and then Sunny is going to do the same thing. So, Tracy, I'm going to let you get started, darling.
Oh, thank you. Okay, heads up, here I am. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Give me a thumbs up for those of you I can see. Okay, and also let me set my timer because I do not want to go late. So, just one moment. I'm going, I had it all set up. Here, go. Okay, so I get to talk about 3 by 3 by 3 because if you're a coach on my team, you know that I'm fanatical about this. I absolutely love it at first, and you don't have to love it. You just have to do it. So this whole 3 by 3 by 3 is about consistency. And so I just want to show you this, not to be like braggadocious, if you will, but because I'm not just telling you I do it, I do it. This is my 2018, but I have like pages and pages that go back to when I started doing this. I started coaching 2016, but I had one client. I wasn't going to coach. I just did it to help my friend Wanda. And then when I finally launched 6 months later, I started shortly after that. And I took this seriously when I got it. Like if I laid down in bed and I didn't do my 3 by 3 by 3, I literally would get up and do it. And that's how I built my business, following these systems. So I want to say that Optavia, with all these, you know, rock star coaches, the Dan Valentines, who is always speaking on this, they have the system. We don't have to reinvent it. What I love is they give us a system, and of course you can use your own voice. You're not going to be a Dan Valentine. You're not going to be, you know, whatever presidential. You're going to be you, and you're going to learn this as you go. So I'm going to repeat some of the things that Dan teaches on. And I'm also, when I'm done, I'm going to put a series of watch this, do this, that Dan put out. It's in Simple Systems. And just follow, like, even if you think you know it, because I thought I did, I listened to it before I came on this, and I learned more. You can always learn more. You're always going to tweak it. So what is 3 by 3 by 3? In the chat, I'm going to put the worksheet. There's an actual worksheet that you can keep track of doing your 3 by 3 by 3. So 3 posts. You're going to post 3 times a day. Dan suggests that you do a results post, which is like a before and after daily. You can do your own, which is always great to do, and you should do that. But then we also have the transformation stories to share, which is a Facebook page where you can go and get other before and afters. But if before and after can also be a behind the scenes, like, you know, when I started this program, I had a cleaning business and I couldn't get down. When I got down on the floor, I couldn't get back up because I was 50 pounds overweight. So back then I could have posted, I couldn't get up off the floor before, but now that I'm down 50 pounds, I can. Or doing something with your family. I couldn't run before because I, you know, had too much weight, and now I can. Something before and after, behind the scenes, a results picture, whatever. It could be a non-scale victory as a results post. A passion post, something that is really close to your heart. For me, that's my faith. I post a devotion daily because that's important to me. I love, like when I read something that inspires me, I post that. And then a life post, like you're out doing something with your kids, or you're putting up your Christmas tree, or your Christmas tree fell down, or whatever. Someone had posted that, I think. So that's the posting. Now remember to spread those out. You don't want to layer your post. You especially want to check your post to see if it's getting a lot of activity. Don't post again. Work off that activity, because these 3 by 3 by 3, they work strategically together. So that's the 3 posts. And I'm not going to go into deep detail here because I'm going to put in the chat for you later to watch this stuff. But here's what I want to say. don't get so sucked into watching this stuff that you're not in action. Because the only way to do this, the only way to grow your business is to do the action. And you know what? It might feel awkward. I remember when I first sat down to do 3x3x3, I was petrified to have a conversation. And then once I started doing it, I'm like, well, that's not bad. What I felt I wasn't good at was posting. I would see some of these other great coaches posting these elaborate things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my posts are lame. You know what? They're not. That you grow, you learn as you go along. You are uniquely you. So don't get caught up in what other people are doing. Post 3 conversations. And that's where I think that some people, you know, I've had some of my own questions ask, what is a conversation? A conversation is, and here's the whole big picture of 3x3x3. You are looking for people who are looking for solutions. You're not on there trying to sell Optavia and get a client. Now, hopefully, your 3x3x3 will inspire someone to take their health back. And when they decide to make that decision, you want to be the person that they go to because you're posting and sharing your life and your story and your wins, and they're going to remember that. So a conversation is when you go into Messenger and have a conversation. So with the conversation part, there's lots of ways to do it. I mean, Dan suggests that you go in first to your post. I really wanted to share screen. Can I do that real quick? Because it's easier for me just to, is that my timer? Like I'm done my 5 minutes?
Go ahead and do what you need to do, Tracy. Take another.
Okay. So here's there's several ways to do this. I heard Terry Miller say that she, every day, and she's finished by the 13th of the month, day 1 is A and B, day 2 is C and D. So however you can sort your Facebook friends to do either by first name or last name, that's one way. Or you can randomly scroll and pick different people to do conversations. But here, let me just go into Gina's here. I know Gina very well, so she's a coach in Optavia. I'm not going to be doing this with her. I'm just going to use her as an example. You want to go in first and you want to like, you see that I liked a post there? You want to like 1, 2, maybe 3 posts. Don't be stalky, because that would be weird. Like a couple posts. You want to comment on one. And I've heard that you should do like at least 4 words of a comment. I'm not going to do that on here. I'm just showing you what to do. And then you want to go into her message and send her a message. And that can be simply, depends where you are in the relationship. You could say, hey Gina, how have you been? You know, what's going on in your life? Or you can see a post and say, oh my gosh, Gina, when you posted that diet mindset, that really spoke to me. Any more thoughts on that? Like, you want to do something to inspire a conversation, okay? Another way I do conversations is I go to, now Facebook just moved this, if I go to home and then I go to events and then I go to birthdays, because those come up here. Now, this isn't the brunt of my conversations, but I'm really big on birthdaying people. I think birthdays are really important. So I would go to Christopher's page because it's his birthday today. I would say, happy birthday, Christopher. And I actually put a little photo in. I have I'll press photo and I have a block of photos, birthday pictures. And I would drop a photo in there. Then I would scroll down and I would like one of Christopher's posts. And I would maybe like this one just because, that's a scrolling one. But I would like I would like something and then I would comment. Maybe on this I might say, oh my gosh, that beef stew looks amazing. Can I have the recipe if it wasn't there? So then I would go into Messenger and I would do a conversation with Christopher. Hey, Chris. And see, I messaged him earlier asking him if I can use his page. And I would have a conversation with Chris. I might say, happy birthday, Christopher. I hope you have a wonderful day. Any plans? Now, it depends. If you don't know this person that well, that might be kind of funky. If you know them well, you might go ahead and say that. Or you want to get the conversation, hopefully, at some point around to health. But you might comment on that picture and say, how was that beef stew? Like, wow, it looks like you're really eating healthy. I'm loving my health journey. And then kind of pivot and say something else like, how's your family? You want to see if they're interested. Remember, we're looking for people that are looking for a solution. So you don't want to be pouncing on people about what you're doing. You want it to come up naturally and you want to listen for an opening. So 3 conversations, 3 posts, and then friend three new people. Again, Dan Valentine goes over this in detail about how to friend people. If you're not comfortable friending people you don't know, he tells you how to get around that, how to do it, how to meet people and friend them. The point is, these work strategically. If you're having 3 new conversations a day and adding three new people a day, you're never, ever going to run out of people to have a conversation with. Does that make sense? Because you're replacing those 3 conversations every single day. Lori, is there anything you want to add on that?
I love it, Tracy. That's so awesome. I love the way you just walk them through the steps and the way you do it. That's fantastic. I just, a little tip I always do, I mean, the birthdays, that's the first place to go to every single day. There's at least 3 to 10 birthdays every single day.
Oh my gosh, at least.
Yeah. So that's a great way to, and it's the personal message. I never do a birthday on their wall because that gets lost. But always do the private message. So
always, yeah. And I have to say, with 4,600 friends, I don't know all those people. I don't know them well enough to have deep conversations, but I wish them a happy birthday. And so many times I get back, wow, thanks for taking the time. Now I want to say, what are they going to do? One strategic thing I do. Before I do all my birthdays, I do a before and after post. Because if somebody doesn't know me, and even if they do, or if they forget who I am, what are people going to do when you message them? Turn back to your page and go, who is this person? And what are they going to see? They're going to see a before and after, and they may comment or ask. Most of them don't, but I'm hoping subliminally they're going to come to me when they're ready. So that sets my morning up before I do the birthday post to have I have at least probably 12 birthdays a day sometimes. Oh my gosh, there's one day like September, October that everybody in the world was born. And you can get so much traction off a good post and a good happy birthday. But again, I'm just wishing them a happy birthday because honestly, I think it's really important. I really do. I'm trying to remind myself to celebrate my own birthday. It's important to stop and breathe and celebrate. So that I'm hoping comes out heartfelt. So I always do a strategic post before I do the brunt of my conversations, hoping that when people go and see that, they'll see what I posted that day. Okay.
Thank you, Tracy, so much. I'm just going to share really quick, you guys, on this to health coaching document. There is, and this is straight from Optavia Learn Center. And this is the Welcome to Health Coaching document. If you've not seen this, it looks a little different. I've cleaned it up a bit, but right here is, let's see, where did it go? So making your contact list under number 3. If you click on this, there's a really good document here. So finding clients and coach candidates. If you guys have not seen this yet, it's kind of like a memory jogger. You kind of think about people as you're making your list. People that need to lose 20 pounds, type 2 diabetics, borderline, there's just really great people that you've worked with. It's going to help be a great memory jogger for you. So if you guys wanted even to maybe work on that for this next, I'm going to shorten it to more like 7 minutes of work time in this segment because Jen and Sunny've got a lot of great things to work on or to teach us today as well. And I cut them short on time. So I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for about 7 minutes for some work time for you guys. Let me stop share. If you guys want to work on your 3x3. So I put the link in the chat. So if you have not printed that document, the 3x3 by 3, go ahead and print that. And then kind of start working on getting yourself organized in that area. And maybe you can work on your 3x3 by 3 right now for today. Okay, so I'm going to just set the timer for 7 minutes. I'm going to mute.
Dang it.
Okay, guys, our time is up, so we're going to move on. Do you guys get some stuff done? Start feeling good actually putting the time in and doing this? So I'm going to turn it over to Jen, and Jen's going to jump on and talk a little bit about the hundreds list and hot sheet, or the hot list. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Jen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, cool. So I first started this hot list when I heard Allison Petty on one of our trainings talk about this hot list. And I was like, ooh, that's brilliant. So it kind of takes it a step further from our 100s list. So if you are new to all of this, basically the 100s list is where, especially as a brand new coach, like I know when I was a brand new coach, my 100s list, at first thinking about it, I was like, how am I going to come up with 100 people in my world? Do I even know 100 people? Right? Was my question. And as I started getting going, I was like, oh my gosh, I had way more than 100 people, because one of the first things that I did is I just went through the contacts on my phone, just literally like, who do I have their phone number? Right? So literally going through the contacts. Now, as I was going through the contacts, I was not necessarily, well, I take that back. When I first was a coach, I was looking for, who are the people, because this was me, I lost 75 pounds, right? I needed this program desperately to lose weight. And I came into this program to lose weight, right? But all that changed because I knew that there was so much more. But basically I was like, who are my people in my world who could stand to lose 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 pounds, right? Those are the people. But now I look at it totally different, because I know that every single person in my contact list can benefit from our program, because I realize what we've got in our hands. So even me today, my hundreds list is going to look totally different, right? Because I'm really looking for who are the people that this program could absolutely benefit. So check your contacts list in your phone. Next, the next thing that I did, and this is where I probably came up with, 300 people that I'm literally writing their name on my hundreds list, was going to my Facebook friends, going through my friends on my Facebook. Who are the people in my Facebook that I'm already friends with that could benefit from great health, and this program could completely change the direction of their life, right? So writing their names down. You guys, there is something about writing their name down that puts it in your head that you're just like, somehow you run into the person at Walmart. You're like, how did that happen? Like, things magically happen when you write their name down. And at first it was kind of funny about writing their name down, but then I started looking at my hundreds list as a prayer list. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to be praying for these people, because everybody can use prayer, right? And so when you're writing their name down, think of it as like, they could benefit from this. This is just a prayer list, because then you get a little bit more intentional about maybe when you come in contact with them, when you see them at church, you might actually, go say, hey, how are you? How's your health? I mean, you guys, I had an incident last night that happened. This is aside from this list, where I had a person reach out to me who's one of my clients. Okay. She's only been on program about a month, maybe 5-6 weeks. And she literally, I met her for coffee, because that's how she wanted to meet. Normally, I don't do that. Normally, a health assessment is over Zoom. But she's friends with my mom, and I was like, I'll meet her for coffee. Literally, she told me last night that she had met with another Optavia coach, not within here, just totally, someone else, the week before for coffee. And then she met with me. And I said, well, what was the difference? And she said, you asked me how my health was. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Like, that was the difference maker. She had been asking me, because I had been posting recipes, just like what Tracy was talking about, the 3x3x3. I'd been posting some pictures of some great recipes, and I don't post the actual recipe. I post the picture and I say, who wants it? Who wants the recipe? And then I personal message them the recipe. But on the bottom of that recipe, I actually asked them, so what's new with you? How's your health been going? So that was the difference maker for this gal, was how, me asking her, how was your health? That's why she's my client now, and she's not the other person's client. So that's all another story. But anyway, back to the personal or the 100s list, right? So that's something that you can do to start to get that list going. Now that list moves into what we call the hot list. And so that's what I would suggest you either start your hundreds list. If you're a brand new coach, just maybe starting with the hundreds list is going to be the way to go to spend your next 10 minutes or so. But if you've been coaching for a while, doing more of a hot list, and my hot list is a hot mess, okay? It literally, right? It is a hot mess because I've been really utilizing it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to break down what this hot list is. So I made a new hot list because this is going to be my new hot list because my hundreds list and my hot list, they change. Not necessarily because some of these people I may have started to help. So they're literally like highlighted or crossed off my hot list because now I started helping them. So if you can see this, go ahead and just grab a piece of paper. Now, I like to use tag board because for me, this thing is going to get tattered and I need to be able to find it easily. So this time I'm actually using an orange piece of tag board, but you could just use a regular old piece of paper. White paper is fine. So literally write hot list at the top. And up here, I have my potential coaches, okay? And these can be people that aren't even on program yet, okay? So think about that. Your potential coaches could just be amazing people in your world that you're like, oh man, they would just, coaching for them could just completely rock their world and change their whole world, right? So these can be your potential coaches. They may be clients, and they may be people that aren't clients yet, and that's okay. All right. Over here, you've got follow-up, right? These are the people that you have already done health assessments with, and they have just said not yet, right? It's never a no. They're a not yet. They go in my follow-up binder, right? And so these are the people for me on my hot list, right? These are all the people that recently I've done health assessments with, and I need to make sure that I'm following up with them. Okay, and then your next one, your potential clients. This is the one that for me spilled over to the whole back, okay? Because I couldn't fit all my potential clients in this one little space. It filled over to the back side of my paper. And if you're wondering, I've been coaching 2.5 years. I still have a massive list of people to get healthy, okay? It never ends. I'm constantly meeting new people. I'm constantly becoming Facebook friends with new people, right? This list never ends. And then the last section, now for some of you new coaches, there may not be anybody here, and that's a good thing. But for some of us who've been coaching a while, you may have some inactives here. And that's where you're gonna want to put your inactives because you guys, we are getting into the new year. This is when all of these inactives over here, okay, for me, a lot of these inactives haven't even experienced our new transformational habits of health system. And so therefore, what maybe they did with Optavia before is going to look a whole lot different than it's going to look as we move into me bringing them back on and how I'm coaching them and how I'm working with them through the life book. So those inactives are going to be really important to be contacting and being in touch with and being really intentional with as we go into the new year. So I was not as good as Tracy. I did not set my timer, but I think I'm probably pretty much there. So I think we should move into the work time.
I love that, Jen, so much. And I think that I think people might be thinking to themselves, oh my gosh, how does she know that many people? Guys, everybody's on her list. Everybody's on her potential client list because when we can make that shift in our mind of like, it's not just people that need to lose weight. I will tell you across the board that I'd say when I'm working with coaches or when I'm working with new coaches, they're always looking for people that need to lose weight. They have not yet made that mental shift of Optavia is for everybody. So don't limit yourself in who you're putting in that potential client list category because you're looking for people that need a healthy mind and a healthy community. You're looking for people that need healthy finances. You're looking for people that need a healthy body. And I encourage you guys to reverse the thought process on what you're thinking for first. Okay? Because I want to encourage you while you're making that list to think more about people that need that healthy and they need that healthy finances and they are just super strong, successful people. I want you to think about that when you're developing this new list today. Think about the very, very successful people in your life that might just have a little bit of imbalance where they maybe have this wonderful career, but they're not necessarily, but they could be overweight, right? Instead of thinking about overweight, let's think about these successful people in your life. Okay, people that are amazing, people that are well respected, people that are well trusted, people that have high integrity. So start formulating your list off of that as your first prerequisite of who you're putting on your list, because I can guarantee they need health. Okay, but we're looking for people who are going to blow this program up, that they're going to take it. I just started I was talking to one of my newer coaches yesterday. She brought on one of her mentors, right? And she's just in awe. She's in awe. She's like, I can't believe like how great she's doing. She started without us even knowing, like she just got started. And I said, that's what you're looking for. You are looking for clients that are going to be able to walk into this program and be so ready for it, so excited, so dialed in that they're going to take the materials and they're going to run with it. Those are the clients. We are looking for fully integrated people, fully integrated clients. Okay. So as you're taking your time right now to work on this list, I love that way you laid it out, Jen. Can we all tell that she's a teacher by nature? She's got her perfect paper. She's got, it's awesome. So let's work on the list. I'm going to take about probably 7 minutes to just let's just start a fresh new list right now with the hot list. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and mute and let's get to work. Okay, guys, so time is up. And I'm going to turn it over to Sunny Kane. And I'm so excited for you guys to get to hear from her this morning as well, because she is like super organized. She's got a lot of things that she is doing in her life. Oops. She's doing a lot of things that she is doing, she's focusing on in her life right now. And she is stellar at keeping herself organized and making time and priorities with getting her posting out there, getting the word, her message out there. And so I'm excited for you guys to hear from her today. So Sunny, do you want to share a little bit with us this morning on how you stay organized, how you, she's going to be sharing how she prepares her posts, and I'm going to let her take it away. So go ahead, Sunny, if you want to unmute.
All right, there we go. So as Lori was saying, I got to this place where I really needed to start pre-planning my social media. That was not only because I had a full-time job, but I had lots of kiddos. And I don't know about you, but one thing I've learned in this journey through Optavia is to get out of emotion and into structure in my life. How many of you, just drop in the chat, if you have been a person that has been, you have had to get out of emotion and into structure to produce any forward movement in our lives with consistency, right? Like maybe just put a 1 in the chat or say me, whatever you want to say. But I really was in a place where my social media for a while, it was like, I'd be consistent. I was doing my 3, 3, and 3. I was adding my friends. And then a huge work project would come. And so I wouldn't quite get it done. And, I know Tracy said, then she would get out of bed and go do it. I didn't. I was just like, so my social media was inconsistent at best. It would be present one day, or maybe it's like you're walking through a season. Maybe it's not about a hard work day. Maybe it's like you're walking through a hard life situation. And so you just don't feel like doing social media because you feel uninspired. I mean, how many of you can relate to that? Like you have all the best intentions of doing your social media, but you have a bad day and you feel uninspired. How many of you have been there, right? So I'm going here because I think this shows why we can bring a structure to it. And the 3, 3, and 3 is the perfect structure to go to. And I decided to add to that by pre-planning, by looking at a month at a time. And that can sound super intimidating. Like, so now I'm already uninspired. I'm already struggling to keep up. And now you're posing to me that I plan a whole entire month at a time. Sunny, ain't nobody got time for that. But what I would say to you is that, I plan my entire social media in 1 hour, just 1 hour. And so today I wanted to bring you some tips. And I told Lori, this is a very packed subject. So I will probably, if it would be helpful to you guys, I will probably go live in the Dufresne Coach support page and bring a little bit more and bring some of the tools. But I wanted to at least give you an overview and some things for you to think about, because January is coming and you guys could set up for the most structure in your social media that you have ever had if you will take these things. So you might say, I don't have any ideas. Where do I start on planning 30 days at a time? And I do this by asking yourself these questions, like, where do you find content? The first thing, here's one great question to ask yourself. What am I about? Not who are other people about, but what am I, Sunny Kane, what am I about? For me, and you can answer that right now, or you can stay present with me and we'll spend a little work time on that. What am I about? For me, I had to really spend some time, and I found that I was faith, family, fun, forward movement. And because I had too many F words, I shifted my last one to transformation, right? I didn't want to be known as the girl who was all about F words, okay? Faith, family, fun, forward movement, and transformation. That's what Sunny Kane is about, okay? But we all bring our uniqueness to the world. We've all been, you're all snowflakes, and I'm not calling you a flake. I'm just saying you're snowflake because you're unique, right? God only created just you to be like you. So you go, what am I about? This is going to help you with content. What the goal is that you're going to aim your social media at the whole of what you're about, rather than turning it into an advertising agency, okay? Sometimes, this is what happened. I had a great friend give me feedback. She said, Sunny, sometimes I go onto your social media and I don't know what happened to you. This was about 2 years ago when I first started. She's like, you used to always post about your faith and what God was doing, and now you only post pictures of people who have lost weight. And I was like, dang, that's not what Optavia has brought to me. yes, it's weight loss, but it's so much more. How am I reflecting only weight loss? And sometimes it's because, you know what, I was just trying to get through the work of putting 3, 3, and 3 out there, and I was so excited that I forgot to bring who I am to my social media. So if you are a newbie coach and you are in the habit of just copying and pasting other transformation stories, I want to say great job. You're starting the work. But if you are not a newbie coach, now it's time to up your game a little bit and shift a tiny bit into considering what you're about and starting to have your voice come out instead of the copy and paste, because your world wants you and what you're about. So I ask myself what I'm about. And the other question you can ask yourself as you're pre-planning social media is, what are my gains? What are my gains? What are my gains with Optavia? This is not simply weight loss, just like brainstorming, brain dumping. For me, that was, I gained confidence. I got my jeans back. That was pretty fun, right? All the chicks are like, yes, it is all about damn jeans. But I got into my jeans again. What else have I gained? I've gained more time with my children. I've been more into adventures with my husband. And we're going to be thinking about ways, how do I generate and show the world that what I have gained from Optavia is not just about my weight loss transformation. How has it helped you in your marriage? Has it helped you in the bedroom with your spouse? Don't show a picture of that. Nobody wants to see that. But they might want to know that, man, you and your spouse are connecting more because you came out from behind that shell of the way you felt before you lost weight, or maybe you don't have a weight loss story. Anyways, it's that, what are my gains with Optavia? Brain dump that, make a list. The next place where we find content is engaging questions. This is, you are starting conversations on your wall, because the more conversations you start getting people to engage on your wall. Guess what? They see more of your posts. So I plan out about 10 to 15 questions a month. These are questions like, what is your greatest fear? If you go back through my social media, you'll see this. What is your greatest fear? What is the most difficult thing for you about taking a health journey? What do you love doing with your kids? Here's kind of a fun one. Using only a GIF, right? Describe your day or describe your current mood, using whatever it is. These will up engagement. But we can pre-plan them in advance. You can also do a this or that in engaging questions like Mac or PC, shopping online, or whatever. But this is engaging questions. Okay, Lori, am I getting long-winded here? I can still see you.
Keep going. Keep going.
We're still good. Okay. The other place that I look for content is what is currently inspiring me. Right? Just brain dump this stuff. What is currently inspiring me? Keeping a list on your phone of quotes that inspire you. You see something like an Eleanor Roosevelt quote, grab that, save it in your photos. Recreate a post with your own look of what you like about that quote. What else is inspiring you? What are you reading right now? This is all about you brain dumping. What did you hear on the Monday night leadership call that was like mind-blowing to you that would benefit others? What about the Habits of Health call? What are you learning from your life book? Where are you being inspired? And it's writing those down. Again, what we're doing here is we're looking for content for you to plan your month. You're brain dumping that. Now, how do we make the plan, right? So that was just ideas for where to find content. Here is where we get into the work of how do I make a plan? Just breaking it down, looking at a calendar. I literally pull out a calendar, and there is no science to this. There is no science at all. I look at each day and I just start writing things, engaging question. I write that on 15 days maybe. And then I write, like, since I'm a chick of faith, I write like, okay, I want to make sure that I'm like faith in these 10 days. I want to make sure that I look at my calendar. Is my family going anywhere? Well, since I'm about family, I can represent my family on this week on how I get to spend time. It's just a plan. You're just putting it on paper from those brain dumps, like what's inspiring me. This just lays out a plan. Now you have your content. When you look at that 30 days, this is just my plan of how I'm building my social media. Okay. Just so you know, 90% of the time, my month looks identical. The work you put in now to plan 1 month of how you'd like to lay that out is work that will last you for every month if you choose to, of just helping to guide you. Then this is what we do. Here's tools for you to use. You're going to want to write these down. If you aren't using already, there is Word Swag. It's an app on your phone. I would suggest for you to pay the $4.99 to unlock the extra fonts. Canva, it's a free tool. And Unsplash. Unsplash.com. So WordSwag and Canva are two places that help you. It's dummy proof. It totally, if I say it's dummy proof and then it's hard, let me know. I'd be happy to teach you guys how to use those. I'm like, I think it's dummy proof. But WordSwag and Canva are just tools for you to create your engaging content on pretty pictures, right? And then unsplash.com is a place for you to find free photos, like stock photos that you can use to kind of like have health related posts. Great tools. And then you're going to print your calendar, right? You're going to take these family, fun, forward movement, your engaging questions, and you're literally just gonna, I'm not kidding you, I don't make it. If you look at my social media, I have one look for how I do quotes. Why? Because I wanted to do them quickly. I type quotes, I save all of them in my phone, and I'm not kidding you, I started with 30, if I had 30 posts that were pre-planned, then I could go in and do my transformation stories when I felt like it throughout the day. But I started with 30, I moved to 60, and now in about an hour and a half, I do 90 posts and they're ready for me on my phone. And so I'm not thinking about it. I don't have to feel like it. Right now, I'm going through a really difficult time with a friend of mine who is dying of cancer. And here's the thing. I still have a business. I still want to keep my store open. Well, I don't have to feel like creating a post because I already have them on my phone. That's the value here, is I'm keeping the sunny show open, right? That's the name of my store apparently this morning. I'm keeping that open because just because life happens doesn't mean that I want to shut down my business. I want to be out there in the world giving hope to the world. So if we were to look at, let's see here, Lori, we're at 7:52. I guess what I put down would be helpful in just like
my video's off.
Is even just starting to answer some of those questions of what am I about? You could spend a few minutes on that. What am I about? And then look at your social media. Does it reflect what you're about?
Something about us doing a demo.
I know. I think it's.
I got it.
Know.
I got it.
Okay. Does it reflect? So you could look at what am I about? Does your social media show what you're about? The next thing you could look at in this time is what have I gained from Optavia? And does my social media currently reflect what I'm about or something, what I have gained or is something missing? And ask your coach to help look at your page in that way. It's a great way to use your mentorship team. And then you kind of dig in and you could even right now write some engaging questions, like just random questions. They don't even have to be difficult. It's like, what are you drinking today? Water. I don't know. So is that helpful? Or I'm like, it was a fire hose. Trying to bubble this down into like 5 minutes was impossible for me. But Lori, how is that?
Sunny, it was awesome. Absolutely awesome. And we would love, would you guys love to get some more training on this area? If Sunny could do maybe a live for us, you guys want to throw that in the chat? Like, that was so fantastic. And I love, for many of us, it's not a natural ability for knowing like how to express ourselves. Where do we go from here? This was so helpful to me personally. It's not my wheelhouse. Like, I don't know how to do these things. It's not natural. So, that would be amazing. Maybe we could set up a time and get a live going and just help break it down even a little bit further. That was fantastic. Do you, I'm trying to think of how I want to use the next couple of minutes, because I would rather, instead of giving work time, maybe we can just maybe open it up for maybe 1 or 2 Q&As so we can honor our time. And then does anybody have like an important question that would benefit the group? So not like a personal question, but an actual important question that everyone could benefit from.
I'm going to ask the question that Carla asked in the chat, which was, do you delete, what did she say? Do you delete as you post? Where do you store them all?
So I personally store these on my phone, because I'm not like, it's easiest to post them from my phone, honestly. And what I'll do is save them as photos, just like a photo. And then I keep in my notes section, like if I want to write out, so for instance, a transformation story. I went into the transformation story yesterday and I knew that I wanted to have, and I saved about, I want to say 15 of the transformation stories to share. And I saved in order in my notes. This might not be like high tech here, guys, but I saved in my notes their stories and I just have them ready. Now it's just as easy to go to the transformation stories, but I'm kind of a nerd about being really organized. But you could also, my mom, just, you know, truth be told, Ray Lynn's on this call, her granddaughter creates 60% of her social media. She saves them on the Google Drive and we just upload them, the little graphics. And this is a perfect way to engage your children. If you have kids that are 12 and up that you want to bring in and create a family business, teach them to create your posts. And if you go to my mom's page, you can see her 12-year-old granddaughter is creating a ton of her content so that my mom can be pre-planned and pre-scheduled.
I love that. That's such a great tip. So you're putting them in notes, and then, yeah, Google Drives are a wonderful thing, especially if you're having somebody else to help you with putting those in there, because then you can both access it, you know, very easily in there. That's awesome. Does anybody else have one more question before we close off?
Somebody asked, how do we find 3 friends to add every day? I'd be happy to answer what I do with that. So basically, the way I started adding friends, and I will tell you, I was inspired by April Pitcairn, who's on this call. I thought I had all these friends, like when I first became a coach, and I was like, oh, I'm good. I don't need to add anybody. I've got everybody covered. And I had like 400. Now I have like over 3,000 because, you know, I learned how to find friends. So what I do is like, I go to each of the friends that I have, like especially from, I love somebody I pulled out my old yearbook. That's an amazing one. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. So I thought about the people from high school and I'd go to their page, their specific Facebook page, and then I'd click on their friends. And I'd start looking through all their friends and I'd find like 10 friends that I'm friends with also that I didn't even know that I wasn't friends with. And then I would just add them. So that's a great place to start, is go to your Facebook friends, because more than likely you have mutual friends in common, especially if they're from high school. You'll be able to definitely find a lot of people that you are missing that you're like, oh, I hadn't even thought about that person in 30 years. Right? So then you can just start adding friends from there. And so when I'm kind of, you know, looking for who do I want to be friends with, that's what I do, is I literally go to my Facebook friends, the people I know well, and I'm like, I definitely have people in common. And then I go to their friends list and just start adding.
Love it. Great, great tip. That's awesome. Do you guys, let's see, there's another question here. Do you respond to people who watch your story content? Anybody want to take that?
I think anytime you can start a conversation, yes. So for instance, I think it was Julie that answered that. Let's say you notice somebody always watches your stories. I will look, that is the perfect place to start conversations. They're not commenting, maybe, that's what I'm assuming is happening here. But just like you notice, let's say you notice that Piper is watching your story every day. Pop in and have a conversation with her. Hey, you know, Piper, how have you been? I've been thinking about you lately, and tell me what's new. How's life? That's it. And you just notice, and you're starting the conversation because you notice they're watching you. That's how I do it.
I love it. Love it. Perfect. Okay, cool. Guys, do you want to do another power hour next Saturday? I'm wondering if it's getting too close to the holidays, but I think let's plan another power hour next Saturday morning so we can keep this momentum. And then Sunny, I'll talk to you about maybe we can bring this into next Sunday or next Saturday as well. Did I say Saturday or next Saturday? I'm like, what did I just say? So maybe we can extend and do like a part 2 to this, because I think we're just starting to dive deep into something that's going to create a lot of breakthroughs for a lot of people. So thank you, ladies. This morning was awesome. We very much value your time and appreciate you. Everybody, you guys have a wonderful day. And let's put these action steps into work. Okay, guys? I'd love to hear on the Dufresne page how this is all working for you guys and what value it brought you. Okay? Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.